Hello out there. Here we are with another video. I'm actually recording this directly after the actual episode. That's weird. Are you not over here? Wow, we have the amazing teleporting Snorlax. But here we are just doing some level grinding, so we can defeat the gym. I forgot to put a thingy on them, but anyway, I couldn't I think I'm just going to talk about this movie series rather than just one specific movie. It's the Descendants movies. I don't know if you guys have seen them. It's Disney's Descendants. Really good series. I really have one major complaint about them, uh, and that's it. I mean, for other than that, they're made to TV movies, so you got to give them some leniency with some things. But the biggest complaint I would have is the fact that they lip sync. The actors aren't actually singing or anything like that. They're faking it. Only use one first turn. No, I don't think I'm ready. But other than that, great movies, great songs. I mean, it's a good throwback to the old days of way Disney did things. Some of the acting could be better, but come on, it's a TV movie. You you expect some bad acting here and there. Actually, the main actors, their worst acting is in the first movie, but after that, they get a lot better. Um, I basically it's about the children of Disney characters. You have Mal, which is daughter of Maleficent. Evie, daughter of the evil queen. Uh, Jay, son of Jafar, and Carlos, son of Cruella. Now, okay, I would say my biggest peeve is the lip syncing, but there is at least one well known actress in this movie, and she is a better actress than what she is in this movie. She's the one who plays the evil queen. If you ever play Hocus Pocus, she's let's see, which one is she? She's the chubby one. This actress has always been chubby. I can't think of her name. I should have researched that. But if you've seen Hocus Pocus, you know who I'm talking about. She's well, okay, Hocus Pocus. Acting was not that great in there. It's like she didn't put her full ability into Hocus Pocus or the TV movies. But she is a good actress. Well, I think she was supposed to act the way she was as the witch from Hocus Pocus. But anyways, she's better than what she is. I know she's better than what she is in the Descendants movies. They only show her in the one. I don't know why they only show their pairs to the first one. Well, I understand why Maleficent isn't seen again, but yeah, those are the biggest problems. The acting is kind of hit and miss, and the lip singing. But other than that, the story is great. The timing of everything is pretty good. I mean, yeah. In the first one, the acting is the worst. They do get better. Well, the characters that are in all the movies get better in every movie. The first one, they're basically it's like a foreign. They're doing like a foreign exchange kind of thing. And what it is there's an island full of villains, and well, of course, they the villains have kids. You know, well, Beast and Belle are the king and queen of Ordon, which apparently I guess is the main kingdom. Because I mean, there's obviously more kings and queens, but sounds like they're the main ones. I don't know how that came to be, or if that's how it was supposed to always be, but I mean, they don't explain all that. But Ordon's like the capital, and it's also where the school where everybody gets taught at are. Follow me? No. But anyways, the main VKs, villain kids, as they're called. Maleficent wants her daughter and the other ones to steal Fairy Godmother's magic wand because there's no magic on the island. It's like a prison. It's the Alcatraz. There's no escaping it. Except in this case, there really is no escaping it unless you have some kind of magical means. But being that there's no magic on the island, at least no evil magic, I should say. Yeah, it's there's no way off. Unless you get. But anyways, the main goal is they're trying to get the wand so they can bring down the barrier. Which, funny enough, that they do bring down the barrier in the third movie. So hey, Maleficent, your daughter succeeded in bringing down the barrier. I hope you're proud of her. Yeah, but there's not really much to say without going into too much detail. Maleficent does get off the island herself because Fairy Godmother's daughter tries to use the wand to make herself pretty, even though she's actually one of the prettiest characters in the movie already. You got Milan's daughter in it. I talked about the Milan movies. And now you see her a little bit in the first movie, but it's not till the second movie you really see her. Did I hear somebody knocking at the door? But anyways, oh cool, you look cool. Pivot. Oh, I want to keep pivot. But yeah, you don't see Milan much. Milan's daughter tell that much until the second movie, and then you really don't see her at all after that. At least I don't remember seeing her. That's a good attack. Oh, I should have switched. But, anyways, but yeah, that's the main goal, is to get the wand to bring down the barrier in the first movie. Maleficent gets out, but at the time, what did I just do? Okay, I don't know what that, but all the kids actually end up deciding they don't want to do what their parents said. So when Maleficent shows up, because there was a weakness in the barrier and her magic was able to start working. Yeah, Mal gets into a battle with her mother. I think it's more of a battle of the minds than it is a real physical battle. Because they're just staring at each other, their eyes are glowing, which has happened in the movie more than once. But Mal has never had a really strong determination reason to fight her mother. So I need to switch that Pokemon out. But yeah, she obviously beats the battle of minds against her mom, Maleficent. I got buttons sticking. And her mother turns into a little lizard. Now, the fairy godmother explains that it's, she shrank to the size of her heart. The love in her heart. Obviously, really small, tiny amount of love in that heart. Which she didn't really seem to love her daughter much in the movie. Which is pretty sad, actually. But, it happens. Mothers can be that way sometimes. But yeah, but even though other than the lip syncing and then the occasional bad acting, the first one is one of the better of the three. I think 3 is the best, maybe. I don't know. My opinion seems to change every time I watch it, so I can't be for sure which one I think is the best. But the second one, Mal is Mal. Well, I need to rewind. Mal in the first movie put a love spell on the King Ben, or Prince Ben at the time. He eventually becomes the king by the end of the movie, but they go. Eventually, the spell's off, and he knew he was spelled. But he actually did truly fall in love with her, and true love and all that. And actually, she later on is feeling bad that she had spelled him. But she, she actually tries to undo the spell, and he's like, because they went swimming in this enchanted lake, and the spell came off then. But she made an antidote to the thing, the love spell, and he's like, because she's like, how do you feel? And he's like, I feel fine, but let's give the anti-love potion a chance to take effect to see how I feel. So yeah, he clearly knew what was going on. I think he always kind of suspected it, but he didn't flat out say it until late. He didn't flat out know for sure until he swam in the enchanted lake, and he probably would have been pissed at her, but she thought he was drowning and tried to save him in the enchanted lake, even though she didn't know how to swim. All right. Well, so they've obviously been dating for about 6 months by the time the second movie came around, and they were supposed to be doing more VKs to see how, because it was supposed to be a trial run with those 4, but they never got around to doing others because, well, he was being king and he falling in love. But her first off, Mal's look in the first movie is one of her best appearances. The second movie, not so much. She bleached her hair and tried to fit in for him. But come on, bleach blonde looks terrible, especially on her. She was way too pale for bleach blonde to work at all. But anyway, she's not fitting in. She's cool. We're evolving. Fiero and whatever that other one is. But yeah, my shoulders. She's having a tough time, which she just still doesn't feel like she fits in. She's using magic, which they're not really supposed to use magic in general, but they never took away her mother's spellbook from her, and she's not doing magic for evil purposes, just little things like, okay, it's not bleached blonde hair, it's magicked blonde hair. It looks hideous on her. She eventually does dye her hair back purple, but it's not as good as it is in the first one. It's not as dark. It's just a lighter purple, which they're trying to sell more toys with that. Or that's what it is. But one of my favorite characters is actually in the second movie, Dizzy Germain. Yes, the granddaughter of Drizella, or not Drizella, Lady Tremaine, Cinderella's, uh, niece, mother, and stepmother, and all that. You don't see Drizella or the other evil stepsister. By the third movie, though, you do see Lady Tremaine. Oh, but yeah. Now, a character you see a lot in the first movie, you don't see at all in the second movie, and she's a prominent character in the third, and I forgot to mention her. Her name is Audrey, the daughter of Sleeping Beauty. Can you guess who her rival is? Yeah, she really hates Mal, and she was dating Ben at the time when Mal took him from her. Which actually, Beast and Belle didn't really like her anyways, and yeah, well, she's a queen bee. she's the ooh, she's the cheerleader type. In fact, you do see her as a cheerleader in the movie at one point. Uh, but yeah, you don't see her at all in the second movie. She was dating Ben, started going with Chad Charming, who is not very charming. Yeah, he's the typical dumb jock, and unfortunately, he puts the emphasis on dumb. His acting never gets better, actually. Well, actually, it was good, and it seemed to get worse over time. But that might be biased because I really didn't like his character at all. But anyways, uh, there's a character called Uma. Her mother is Ursula. No, her mother is a good example of didn't some of these villains die? Question mark. I mean, Maleficent, we could say she was defeated, but there were she wasn't you know she may not have actually died, but anyways, I mean she's got magic. Ursula, well maybe Ursula didn't die. She was just defeated, lost the trident, whatever. But there are some of them that actually did die, like Jafar. I mean, there's. But anyways, alternate dimension, alternate timeline. The multiverse. We'll go with that explanation. But actually, you don't really ever see Ursula. You do see her tentacle and hear her yelling at her daughter at one point. But other than that, you don't see her. She is voiced by the one, the great Whoopi Goldberg. I don't, I don't, I don't care what you think of Whoopi's movies. Whoopi is a great actress. She is one of the greats. She is she is one of the not only the one of the better actresses out there, actor out there. She just yeah. I wish I could see her in more things. Jumpin' Jack Flash was a great movie. There was also Star Trek: The Next Generation, where she was Guinan, one of my favorite characters in that show. But I wish she had got more screen time. Wish she had actually got screen time. I digress, though. She Oh, I just realized who the actress who played the evil queen is. It's Rosie O'Donnell. I think that was Rosie O'Donnell. Anyways, obviously, great actress. And if you have a problem because she's a lesbian, then go take a long walk off the short pier that's over the Grand Canyon. For all I care, I have no problem with people's sexualities. I'm making that clear. I am not racist. I am not sexist. I and I don't know what the terminology is for somebody who doesn't like somebody because of their sexuality. But anyways, the daughter is named Uma. She has a great song. I love her song about. It's like, "What's my name? What's my name?" And her chorus is like, Uma. Her crew. She's the leader of the crew, pirate crew, is Harry Hook and whatever Gaston's son's name is, and a whole bunch of others that we never know the names of at all. Gaston's son. Oh boy. He actually makes Gaston look like a genius, but the acting is really good. He actually feels like he's that. It's not like with Chad Charming where he feels like he's smarter than what he is. But anyways, the actor did a great job, I think. Tell your mom my dad said hi, and tell your dad my dad said he wishes he had finished him off when he had the chance. Yeah, they had captured Ben at one point, and they wanted the wand so they could bring down the barrier. That's been like the main theme of all the three movies. But you know, and like I said, eventually in the third movie, that does come down. Now, they Carlos, he's another one of my favorite characters. Actually, my kids did not want to watch Royal Wedding because he wasn't in it. I'll get to that in a little bit. Why he wasn't in it, but at first he's afraid of dogs. I wonder why his mom got defeated by a pack of dogs, and she's been telling him all these bad stories about dogs. But in the first movie, he gets a dog friend named Duke, I think. I can never understand how they're pronouncing the name, but it's either Duke or Dude. Well, he happens to have fallen in. Carlos falls in love with the daughter of the evil queen, or not evil queen, daughter of the fairy godmother, who has made up for her mistake in the first movie. She just wanted to be beautiful. She didn't really mean to put a hole in the barrier. But, well, he's having trouble telling her how he feels, so he had now make a truce spell. Put it in a gummy form so he could eat it. Well, dude got a hold of it instead and now can talk. And they're the best of friends. Well, they were best of friends at the end of the first movie, but they're even better friends by the end of the second movie because they can understand each other. But Carlos has a 3D printer, and Chad Charming. Oh, he's always breaking into his room to use his, because Carlos is tech savvy and has upgraded his personally, so it's better than the one that Chad has access to apparently. Well, in order to appease Uma, they made a 3D printed version of the. I'm not going to do another comet punch of the wand because they're not going to give her the real wand. No way. That'd be stupid. So, what they do, they made the 3D printed one. Well, while they're about to give it to it, Uma's like, "Prove it's the real wand." Well, dude happens to be there, so they's like, well, she casts a fake spell and tells Duke to talk, and to make it look like she actually had the real wand. So they give him the wand. They get Ben, they free Ben, but before they can go anywhere, Uma's trying to use the wand and it doesn't work. Because it's obviously not the real wand. Big battle scene. Now, Harry Hook has this fake hook. He doesn't have a real hook. And is able to get it from him and then throws it into the water. And Harry jumps in after it. He was more worried about that than winning the fight. Now, they make it look like him and Uma are together in the movie, but they aren't. But anyways, they get away. They get to back, but as they're going through the barrier, Mal kind of drops her spell book. Uma picks it up and jumps through the barrier. Behind them without them knowing. She spells Ben. Now, Mal's like having issues whether Ben really loves her or not and all that. Well, true love's kiss breaks the spell that Uma put on him. She was trying to get him to bring down the barrier. Well, we got. Now, this is my one problem with this movie. This could have been so much better. Uma goes into a squid monster. Like her mom. Giant size. Well, Mal, for the first time, turns into a dragon. Now, you're thinking, alright, we're getting an epic battle here. No. Mal swoops down a few times, blows some fire, and then you think that Ben's about to turn into a beast, and he doesn't. This is actually one of the few times he has really bad acting, that actor. Most of the time he's really good, but he growls like he's a beast. But he jumps into the water, yells at both of them to stop. Uma gives him his ring that, he had given her giving the class ring thing to your girlfriend kind of thing. And she swims off. Mal does get the spell book back. Also, but she gives it to the fairy godmother finally so she can put it in the museum. Yeah, whatever. Love they were consistent though with this. They're the water getting splashed everywhere, and everybody's soaked. And they're consistent with it. I mean, most of the time movies do stuff like this, and because they do multiple takes and stuff, sometimes they're not all that wet. They don't have they're not wet at all, but they are still soaked. And they do a great dance scene, in the water that's on the boat because they're having a special party. Yeah. Ben splashes his dad with water because he's back on the boat. But yeah, and then his dad splashes him. Yeah, it's kind of interaction me and my dad would have if we. But yeah, second movie's good, but like I said, it would have been better if they had made that a really good battle scene. But her and Uma basically are rivals, but by the end of the third one, they're flat out best friends. Well, no, I can't say best friends. Evie's her best friend, but as close to a best friend as she can be. Now, Carlos, before the whole dance scene, he's like, "All right, we need to sit down. I'm tired of you guys going off of girl talk. We're in this stuff together." So he's like, "Sit," because, like I said, he has a little pep talk with Mal, But he does finally ask Jane, fairy godmother's daughter, to the dance party thing they were having. I love Fairy Godmother's reaction. At first, she's like, What? Oh, bibbity bobbity boo!" And then she's smiling about it. Like, she was shocked at first. But she likes Carlos. I mean, Carlos is. Okay, out of the original four, he was never really evil. Never. I mean, he did stuff because he was supposed to, but he never really wanted to. You could tell. He was a coward, but by the end, he's one of the bravest, and all because of his friends. Now, in the third movie, they actually finally do pick out some new kids. Dizzy obviously is one of them. Uh, Smee's boys are picked, which the Dizzy and the twin boys you don't see much. And the fourth one, because they only do four, is the daughter of what's his name? He's got friends on the other side from the one movie, Princess and the Frog. Yeah, his daughter. Most of these characters, we only see one of their parents. We actually get to meet Mal's daddy in this one. Her daddy is Hades. Yes, Hades, god of the underworld. Which, he's actually a great character, but he's not the Hades from the Hercules cartoon movie. He's totally different personality. Actually, I would not have thought of him as a villain in this movie. Because he seems like just kind of laid back. They have a father daughter sing a song together. It's like, I still steal souls. What do you expect? He's not really evil. I mean, come on, he's a god. He can make deal with people about their souls. He doesn't force them into it. Mm, well, this one doesn't seem like he does. But anyhow, I really like the Hades character. He's one of the few adult characters that actually acts good in the movie. It's like he was trying. It's like the other adult actors knew that they weren't the focus, so they didn't really care to put in their best performance. But anyways, Audrey, I had to talk about her earlier because this is where she becomes really important. She is pissed that Mal is becoming queen because she's about to marry Ben. It's official at this point that they're getting married. She goes to the museum, breaks, she she may or may not have actually taken it, but she was debating on taking the crown. Well, Maleficent's staff is there calling to her, and kind of plays on her dark emotions and turns her evil. So she does take the. Now she doesn't call herself. She calls herself. What does she call herself? Queen of Mean, or something like that. Because Evie's mom is evil queen, so Queen of Mean. We'll just do that. She's like, I'll get what I deserve. But anyways, she turns Mal into an old hag, and then Mal has to go get the ember from Hades. It's the source of his power? Question mark. I don't get it. But she's not able to use it exactly like he does. She can't like bring people back from the dead or people that are dying back to. Hades can, but which comes important later. Audrey Remember, she's the daughter, a grand or daughter of Sleeping Beauty, which we never see Sleeping Beauty. We only see the grandmother. Well, the mother of Sleeping Beauty. But anyways, yeah, she puts everybody to sleep, or a lot of people to sleep. Whoever wasn't put to sleep ends up getting turned to stone. It's Jane's birthday, and she jumped there at the enchanted lake, and she jumps in. However, when she meets up with when Audrey meets up with Ben, she turns him into a beast. Finally, we finally get to see Ben as a beast, and actually, I think he does a really good job pretending to be a beast. He's not a beast very long, or not a complete beast. Jane has a squirt gun full of lake water and squirts him and turns him back mostly. He still has fangs and a beard. Couldn't you just bring back his conscious mind and that be it? But whatever. But yeah, it's ironic that she, the daughter of Sleeping Beauty, puts everybody to sleep. And, well, Mal, like I said, gets the ember. When she goes to the island, the evil magic doesn't work there, so she's turned back to herself. Now, when she goes to see Hades, her dad, what is one thing Hades is known for? Sybaris, right? It's just a record player with three dogs growling and barking. I'm annoyed with that because it was like, oh, yeah, the CGI wasn't great, but it's a TV movie. And it would have been awesome to see Sybaris. Cerberus? Which, actually, what they could have done instead of made him a giant dog is made him a little puppy-sized dog. But, no, they kind of screwed up on that, I think. They could have done so much better with that. But, whatever. Haiti does give her the ember, and but warns her that if it gets wet, game over. Basically it's not going to work. Now, one of the best scenes in the movie, this is actually the scene that makes the movie, over the top. And yet, at the same time, it's not as good as it could be. But it's still one of the better scenes in the movie. First off, her and Uma meets up before this. They have they always have some kind of love song in the movies. It's a high school drama, basically. Well, one person I haven't mentioned much because, he's been a very minor character. Even after this, he's very minor. Is the son of Dopey. His name is Doug. And he is dating the evil queen's daughter, Evie. Irony. But anyways, he's put to sleep, and they find him with the new VK kids that weren't on the island, protected from Audrey's spell, and they're asleep. Well, Uma's like, who's this guy? Talking about how they have history. How there's a romantic aspect between them. She's like, oh, okay, well, just kiss him. You kiss him, fix him, But true love's kiss, It's like, we haven't actually got to the love stage yet, I don't think. But then they have their love song. It's like, do I love him? Do I not? I mean, I think I do, but what if he doesn't? It's a really great scene. The only problem with it is, again, he's supposed to be sleeping. Well, it's like a father pretending to be asleep when his kids are around. That's what it feels like to me. My dad's done it, did that kind of fake sleep with me, and I've done it with my kids. You can tell he's pretending to be asleep. That is my only problem with the scene. Everything else, well, other than their lip syncing or syncing, but it's a really good scene. Even if you don't want to watch the rest of the movie, you should look up on YouTube for this scene. I'm sure you can find it. But she's dancing with him while he's asleep. Actually, their love did not, their romance didn't seem forced to me. Mal and Ben, they kind of were. It felt a little forced, at least in the first movie. But Evie and Doug never felt forced. It always felt natural. Their chemistry together. I wouldn't have been surprised if we found out in real life they were dating. Like Mal and Harry were dating, and you could tell those two had chemistry too. But she of course kisses him. He doesn't wake it well. Either he doesn't wake up at first, or he's pretending to be asleep. And then until she turns around, and then he sits up and smiling. But yeah, it's a really cute scene. It's probably my favorite scene in that movie. Well, one of my two favorite scenes. I don't know which one I like better, that or the one with Mal and her dad. Well, one thing I haven't mentioned is in the beginning when they were getting the VK kids for the new round, Hades tried to escape while the barrier was open, almost succeeded. And they had a little meeting about whether or not they should close the barrier permanently. And while Mal was actually on the side of closing it permanently. Yeah. And she made a deal with Uma that she would open the barrier. Well, she finally becomes honest about everything, and the one girl, the daughter of, can't remember his name. Sorry, I just watched that movie recently too. But from Princess and the Frog, gets pissed, takes the ember, throws it in water because she knew about that. She was there with Mal when she got the ember. Well, everybody's pissed at her. Well, everybody except for Uma and her crew get turned to stone. Oh, you're evolving, yay! You look awesome. But I'm trying to figure out why she didn't kiss Ben to make him unstoned, but whatever. Well, the ember's not working, but she's still got to try to save Oridon. So, well, also that little girl gets kidnapped because she had ran off from everybody after that. Audrey kidnapped her and is threatening her life. Blah blah blah. Well, Mal turns into dragon and is constantly trying to reignite the ember. It's just a blue stone. But she's having trouble, and Uma basically, decides to help her. It actually felt like she's genuinely like, okay, you made a mistake, but we need to beat Audrey, But she's on the ground, pouring her magic into the stone also. And okay, they obviously beat Audrey. Audrey almost dies. I mean, the rest of the movie is pretty much very predictable what they're gonna do. They go get Hades to help fix Audrey. Some of the VKs go back to the island because they're like, well, if we're closing the barrier for good, I don't want to never see my parents again. Well, you know, well, they gave first off they when so they go back to the island when they go get Hades. Hades fixed Audrey with the ember, and then gives the ember back to Mal. Yeah, they brought him from the island, had him chained up, and he did all this. Like I said, he never really felt like a bad guy to me in this movie. That's the one thing. He didn't really feel like he was ever a villain. But maybe he changed since the Hercules movie. I don't know. I mean, I really like his character, but at the same time, he doesn't feel evil. Well, they they have the coronation or whatever, where Mal's becoming queen, marrying Ben, and even though they have the movie The Royal Wedding, I don't know. Or maybe she's not officially queen yet. But she's like, no, I can't be queen of just Ordon. I need to be queen of the Isle too, and I think we should take down the bear permanently. And Ben's like, okay. All this time they're fighting, keeping the barrier up, and Beast is like, son, you can't do that. It's like, this is our time. This is our decision. Basically, I'm king now. You gave me, the crown. It's my decision. So they brought it down, and they have this. And I love how they do this scene too. It's like the original VKs when the new kids from the Isle are starting to come over, they go over there first and start dancing their way over. It's a musical. It's how they do it. But anyways, when they get to the edge, the Ordon side of the bridge, they stop, and then they switched over to the Ordon side, Mal and her friends, because, well, they started, it's like a symbolic thing. They started out as VKs, became, uh, you know, part of the the hero side. It seemed to me like it was very symbolic. Uh, I love it when you see Hades again. He's giving Mal a hug. You know, he's doing that little thing, pointing at his eyes and pointing at Ben, like I'm watching you. Because it's his daughter. I would do the same thing. And it just yeah, it's a TV movie, and it has its good and bad points. And I think if it was a theatrical movie, it would have been way better. Because they definitely would have had better actors in general. Just in general, the acting would have been better, and hopefully they wouldn't have lip syncing. I have a really big peeve with that. I'll get that with another movie. It just when your biggest flaw is you lip synced, and you just taught them how to sing. Now, I've only watched it once. I don't think there was much singing, and it's very short. The royal wedding. They're getting ready for the wedding and stuff, and Hades shows up. This is also the first time since the second movie you get to see the lizard at Maleficent, and Duke is chasing her around. What? Anyways, Ben went off to go get her so she could be part in the wedding. They never fix her character. Oh, Carlos isn't in here, and they don't exactly say what's going on. They just say wish Carlos could be here, and they all look sad. For those of you who are not a fan of the Descendants, have you never seen it? The actor who played Carlos died after the third movie, and I am glad that they did not try to recast him for Royal Wedding. Now they animated it. They probably could have done clips and stuff with his voice and done it, and probably would have been fine. But I wish they would have at least said what happened to him. maybe there's another movie in between that I don't know about. But and I'll actually get to talking about what I think they should do with the series after this in a moment. But anyways, Hades burns down the place apparently, but he was all for Mal getting married and not he's not evil. Well, come to find out later on when they meet up with Hades back on the island. Barrier's gone, so they come and go as they please, obviously, but he still lives there. Surprise! You think he'd go back to his old home in Greek or Rome? But anyways, he stays living where he was on the island. Well, you find him, he has Ben with him and Mal's mom. And everything comes clear. You find out that he actually was trying to help capture her, capture Maleficent. And Duke bit his butt. And, well, that would hurt. And, his hair kind of caught the place on fire. That's why, he left. He tried to. Oh, but it was so funny. One of my favorite things that happened is Chad was like, I'm on fire, I'm on fire. He wasn't really on fire, but Hades, like, I didn't really like the guy anyway, but I took a thing of water and dumped it on him. Oh, it was hilarious. You gotta love it when stuff like that happens to characters you don't like. Wow. But yeah, it is hilarious. And the thing is, and then Mal's like, let's just have the wedding right here. Which you think they're gonna have it right there on the aisle, and maybe they did. I'm not 100% sure because they tried to spruce up the area, and now they're in a forest. So maybe they took all the buildings away with the magic wand. I don't know. I was confused about that. But you know what? It's a good little short. It's again, they don't really openly say what happened to Carlos. They just are sad he's gone. They don't have Jane in it, which is a little worrisome. Are they going to kill off Jane's character too if they do any more stuff? Because that's the impression I got, is that Carlos is dead in that there now. Now, at the end of the third one, Jay and Gaston's son seem to be having a really good buddy kind of thing, and talking about going to see the world. They could have a series or just a spin-off movie of just them going across the world. They don't have to have any of the other characters, which would mean they don't have to explain what happens to Carlos. Or in the first episode, they could do a little CGI magic, and have Carlos die in it on screen or something, to give us a closure. That's. But there's so many things they could go off doing, and especially, obviously, all the villains have been released, and obviously they made it where good guys can also be bad guys. Audrey, becoming evil. There's so much they could do, making them explore the world. One thing they want to talk about doing is going to a jungle. Well, they could meet up with Tarzan and his family, and maybe Tarzan kid actually needs to get the crap beat out of him or something because he's not a good kid. Or maybe they go to Arendelle and see their descendants, or run into Melody. Which, if you don't know Melody, Watch Little Mermaid 2. She is the daughter of Ariel and Prince Eric. I mean, there's just so many things they could do with just those guys exploring the world. I would love to see that. I mean, it would have been nice if they could have had Carlos. Carlos was, like I said, a great character. You know, Jay was like the sword, and he was like the shield. In fact, in the first movie, they're playing a sports game where Jay was the sword, and yeah, Carlos was the shield, basically. It was kind of like Quidditch, baseball, soccer, or football, depending on how. We call it soccer here in America, but it should be called football. Knowing what I know about sports, yeah, it should be called football. You use your feet on the darn ball. People think Europe is weird for calling it football. No, we are weird for calling football football. There's very few times in the game that you actually kick the ball. Why don't we call football soccer or call it something else? Or just call it pigskin. It used to be called pigskin, I think. But yeah, it was a fun game that they played. It's like hockey because their sticks look like hockey sticks, but they like held the ball or whatever they used in their sticks. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I'm trying to fill content at this point because there's not much more to say about Descendants. I mean, other than what I think they should do with it. I'm afraid what they're going to do if they do more, because recasting Carlos, which obviously they could have done, they clearly made it where they're not, or they're going to make the royal wedding non-canon to the live-action stuff, which would be annoying. Because actually, there is a TV series that I haven't watched called Wicked or something. I don't know. I know my daughter watched it for a little bit. But, yeah, I really wish they would expand on Jay and Gaston's son going off. Maybe have Harry Hook there too. Or even Uma. She should be the ship's captain. And they just go explore the world. And actually, if they have Uma there, that would actually make a very interesting episode or movie when they come across Atlantica. Just imagine how King Triton would react to that one, right? Oh, he would probably be pissed seeing her. And maybe we could see more of Ursula. And actually, they expand on her role. Yeah. Alright, well, there's not really anything else I can say about Descendants. I'll go ahead and finish leveling this guy up, and we'll see you in the next episode, where we hopefully get to defeat the gym. Have fun.